Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Couch today we're going to be taking a look at this, and we're going to be looking at the Knights of Ren. And here is part of their spread with several of them. They do have another page with the others as well. For me, this is the most distinctive looking one with that mask. So let's just see what it says. The scattered settlements of the unknown regions and adjacent border territories tell cautionary tales of dangers lurking in unmapped space. Local folklore has warned for centuries of marauders known as the Knights of Ren. Since the rise of the First Order, myth has become reality. Whether or not this gang of dark warriors are truly connected to that ancient tradition or are wrapping themselves in the name and reputation of legends is not known, nor consequential, for whatever their origins, they are a force to be reckoned with. The Knights were gifted to Ben Solo by Snoke, who promised the fallen Jedi apprentice powerful followers if he proved worthy. After a grueling trial, Kylo Ren emerged to lead them. So the first one we've got is Vickrul, and they all have the surname Ren. So this is Vickrul Ren here with this. And that weapon that he's got, an annealed frick scythe blade. His coat made from skin of unknown, monstrously large reptile. So he's got a nice leather hide coat. And the other one, it says, case-hardened Pastilian ore helmet. So it's Pastilian ore that this is made of, very similar to Kylo Ren's helmet. What it says about Vickrul is, Vickrul sees himself as the harvester, the reaper of the fallen, and the targeter of souls. What a nice guy. Every unfortunate victim to fall to his weapons augments his power. The dark side, though it may be muted by his lack of force training, surges in him with each hateful strike. Vickrul relishes this and prefers to eliminate his targets at close range, though he keeps a blaster pistol at the ready in case he should need it. Vickrul's latent force abilities manifest themselves in heightened reflexes and the power to magnify a fear in his prey, though these abilities come unbidden and uncontrolled. The next one we've got is Cardo, and that's this one here. And he's got a custom arm cannon, which is this. Concussion grenades on a chest strap, which are these. Plasma bolt shells, which are these. It says it's just as deadly with his left hand as his right, although I don't know, I'm looking at the right way around there. He's got a riftier worm hide coat that is fire resistant, so they do like using animals, probably endangered animals, for their clothing. He's got a holster for his blaster pistol, which is here. And he's got tri-braced plasteel armoured greaves on his legs here. So, Cardo. While most of the Knights of Ren strike with exacting precision, Cardo's approach leaves wide swathes of destruction. His hefty arm cannon packs more than enough firepower for a single warrior. A wide-bore flamethrower launches jets of burning napthex gel, burning down obstacles and any enemies using them as cover. A vented plasma bolt launcher has limited ammunition but fires explosive charges over 200 metres. Cardo's obsession with weapon modification makes him the best armourer of the Knights. He also carries a compact, expedient blaster pistol. Next we have Usha Ren, this guy here. Very fearsome. It almost looks like a zombie stormtrooper. What this has? Helmet with breathing tubes and anti-ox filters suggest non-human origin. So that would be fascinating, because if they are the remains of Luke's students, it would make sense that some of them were aliens. Iron Weave Van Brace makes for a crushing backhand on here. So he's got... What else have you got? Vibro machete in inverted sheath, which is this. What is this lovely weapon here? Kinetite charged end with concussion vector vanes, and he also has firm grip on a blunt studded end. And you see here, that's nice, the ridging on that. Usha is the knight most likely to force prisoners to grovel for mercy. He tests the mettle of his victims. Those who whimper for help are deserving of slow punishment, while those who fight back are to be lauded. Usha's helmet bears the crumple mark of a particularly feisty prisoner who retaliated. This desperate effort earned them Usha's respect and a swift death. Usha's signature weapon is a war club with a blunt, heavy end that helps drive kinetic energy to a concussion field generator. This feature can produce a widely dispersed concussion blast. And it's also got a thermal detonator with shaped baradium charges make a devastating area effect weapon. And that is this that you see on here. Now, what is this? Usha and his fellow knights dock their blemished starship with the Star Destroyer steadfast and tread menacingly through its polished interior. It does have their ship here, the Night Buzzard, which is a fascinating design. The Knights of Ren travel aboard a customised ship known as the Night Buzzard. It started life as a dungeon ship from Oseraton, a penal world in the unknown regions that the knights were hired to raid. Freeing the prisoners, the knights also liberated one of the prison transports, altering its appearance to fit with their dark style. Its engine systems have been crudely modified to generate more thrust. This comes at a cost to its insulation baffles, which spew thick, noxious smoke as the ship flies. Also, that's why there's all those things smoke in space. Funny. So it manufactures a Seraton assemblages. It's a modified oubliette class transport, affiliation Knights of Ren, length 5.88 metres, height 5.88 metres, length 35.94, crew 1 pilot minimum and 4 gunners, and its weapons forward laser cannon, turret, midship laser cannon turret, rear heavy laser cannon turret, it likes its cannon turrets, and 2 rear facing fixed laser cannons. Now, second page of the Knights of Ren here. Trudgeon, and that is this guy. He's got a fragment of a Death Trooper helmet. I thought it looked a little bit familiar, but you need to see it closer up, I expect. And he's got an ultrasonic activator. I'm not quite sure what is ultrasonic about this massive blade he's got here. And he's got a heavy weave towbard and hood, which is basically of this. Scavenged armour plates here. And this is a secondary blade. Trudgeon. A collector of trophies from fallen conquests, Trudgeon adds to his weapons and armour as his victories grow. It's a bit like a predator, I suppose. His patchwork helmet indicates that he defeated Death Trooper at some point in the past, a remarkable achievement given their strength and rarity, and that I'd like to see more of, because at what point were Death Troopers still active, I wonder. His signature weapon is an enormous vibro cleaver, so that's what that is. The ultrasonic technology that rapidly vibrates the blade edge for extra cutting power is an add-on modification to a traditional primitive weapon. While not swinging the heavy blade in combat, Trudgeon either rests the blunt end over his shoulder, holds it via the weight-reducing holes lining the blade spine, or attaches a bandolier strap to it and slings it over his back. Then we have Kuruk Ren, this guy here. Look, it looks like it open. Oh no, it's not open. It is open at the sides. That's very interesting. It's like side blinkers. Recesses cut for peripheral line of sight, something that stormtroopers have a great problem with. Blinder panels intended to focus vision forward. Plasma bolt shells stored in collar loops. These. Breath screen and vocoder grid is right that. Sound dampening Susura weave fabric. That kind of reminds me of Bazine Natal's dress from The Force Awakens with the baffle weave printing on it. And then Forestalk and action bar primes the plasma bolt on his gun here. And he's got soft-soled boots for silent tread. So he's like a ninja. He comes up and you don't even hear. Kuruk, the most solitary of the knights. Kuruk serves as the group's rifleman and the pilot of the Night Buzzard. He is the one most likely to remain behind, perched on a high vantage point, covering an assault with his precision marksmanship. The blinder caps on his helmet focus his attention on the target, and his aim is further sharpened by concentrating on the force. He carries no bladed weaponry, relying instead on his multi-barreled, custom-designed rifle, which has rapid-fire, sniping and pump-action plasma bolt firing capabilities. Finally, we have Knights of Ren, this guy here. This is a lovely weapon that he's got. Patchwork mask cobbled together from battered armour. I'm sure this is one of the ones that I've seen in the Force Awakens art of, when they were doing all the different concepts for the Star Killer. Water-shedding oiled cloak. Certainly would need that if they went to the planet where the Death Star wreckage crashed. Weighted handle to partially counter axe head. Here, that would make sense because the other end would be quite heavy and would be off balance. Raised teeth assist in parrying and pinning edged attacks. I never noticed that. That's good, isn't it? On his gauntlet. He's got a smoke canister. All he has to do to recharge that is attach it to the engines of the Night Buzzard. Lightweight plastoid armour beneath tunic fabric, which is under here. So plastoid, that's kind of like what stormtroopers wear, I think. Vibro insulator plates protect the handle. That's this bit here. Let's see what this on the blade is. Beskar, Mandalorian armour, Mandalorian steel. Beskar blade with gore channels cut into surface. But I mean, ancient weapons, swords, they would often have a blood channel running down the middle of them. So, Plek. Whereas most of the knights prefer a straightforward and violent approach to eliminating their targets, Plek revels in deception. As a strategist, he employs feints and misdirections to trap an opponent. On his belt is a smoke dispenser that obscures vision and disrupts sensors. His own nascent force abilities allow him to peer through such screens. As a warrior, the sinister face of his battered helmet suggests an unsettling rictus, as if he delights in his tricks. His preferred lethal weapon, though, is an ancient Mandalorian executioner's axe. And here we see him stalking his prey, an unsuspecting Chewbacca, on Persana during the night's hunt for the scavenger that so vexes their master. Now, I believe that is everything. There is their weapons also, but I will look at those, I think, in another video, because this one is getting quite long now and there's more details on the helmet. But there you go, guys. That's just our initial look at the Knights of Ren from the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.